so misery, it's no mystery. And you and I, we got history, yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to be using the Deck of Scarlet palette. Basically how Deck of Scarlet works is every 2 months you get a new palette for $29.95, and each palette is in collaboration with a YouTuber. This one happens to be in collaboration with Sandra Deluxe, and I am in love with it. And every palette comes with one deck of components. This month came with 3 eyeshadows, 2 cheek shades, 2 lip colors, and 2 pencils. Also, you can cancel your subscription anytime or skip a palette if you're not that interested in it. But anyways, I will leave the link if you guys are interested in getting your Deck of Scarlet palette in the description box down below. And also, I'll be giving away the first Deck of Scarlet palette that was in collaboration with Kelly Strack. All of the rules and how to enter will be in the description box down below for you guys. I'll be announcing the winner on February 1st. Good luck, you guys, and let's get into this tutorial. The first thing that I'm doing is taking that bronzer shade from the Deck of Scarlet palette, and I'm just going to be blending that out into my crease, using this as my transition shade. I'm going to be going into that deep plum shade from the palette, and I'm basically going to use this shade to deepen up my crease. And I do apologize that my camera is like bouncing up and down. My table, or my foot was like on the table, and the table was by my tripod, so that's why the camera is jumping up and down. So I do apologize that I look like a bobblehead. But anyways, I'm taking some concealer and I'm going to be kind of cutting my crease with it with this little tiny brush. And then I'm taking the lightest highlight shade from the palette and putting that onto my lid. My name, or you say her name. Taking that deep plum shade again, I'm just going to be using the same blending brush that I did before, and I'm using this on the outer corner of my eye and just kind of blending it so that those two shadows, the lid color and that shadow, kind of meshes together. And now I'm just applying some winged eyeliner, and of course I'm using my favorite eyeliner of all time. This is the NYC Liquid Liner. And then I'm just applying some mascara. I'm using the Balm Cosmetics Mad Lash mascara. I swear I love the Balm Cosmetics packaging. Like, they just come up with the cutest packaging ever. You guys, like, I don't know, I'm just in love with their packaging. But then anyways, after I put on some mascara, I popped on some lashes. I used the Koko lashes in the style Amore. And then moving on to my skin, I started off with the Nivea Men's Post Shave Balm just to help moisturize and prime my skin and get it ready for some foundation. And of course, for foundation, I'm using the Loreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation in the shade 104. I do think I found a foundation that like outranks the Infallible foundation. L'Oreal sent me their new Cover Lock foundation and I'm in love with it. Literally only the little tiniest amount goes such a long way, and it's the most full coverage foundation I've ever tried out before. But the thing is, the shade isn't my shade, so I have to go and get a new shade. But yeah, it's a really good foundation. But anyways, I'm just blending that into my skin using a damp beauty blender. And then for concealer, I'm using the Amazing Cosmetics Hydrating Concealer. I can't remember which shade this is, but I will leave everything in the description box down below. And I actually set all the areas I put concealer with translucent powder off camera, just because you guys see me do it all the time, so I felt like it was kind of unnecessary. But then I'm just taking that little kabuki brush and using that to set the rest of my face. I used the Airspun to set everything, and then I let the powder sit for a little bit, and now I'm just going ahead and dusting it all away. Moving back to my eyes real quick, I went back with that bronzer shade from the palette and I'm just blending that out into my lower lash line. And then I took the black eye pencil from the palette and I'm just putting that into my waterline. And then I took the highlight shade from the palette and I'm putting that into my inner tear duct. And then taking the deep plum shade again, I'm just putting that closer towards my waterline and then just blending it out. And then I made that little line, I don't know how to describe it, but then I just put on some mascara on my lower lashes, and then I'm done with my eyes. And then I'm just going ahead and warming up my skin using that same bronzer from the palette, and then I just went ahead and took that same Airspun translucent powder and I put that underneath my bronzer and I let it sit for a little bit, and then I went ahead and I dusted it away. While I was waiting for that powder to set underneath my bronzer, I went ahead and curled my lashes together. dipping into the new Kat Von D Holographic palette, and I'm taking the violet shade from the palette, and I'm just using this as my highlight, and it turned out really pretty, and I feel like it went coordinated with my eyeshadow, so we're just going ahead and doing that. Then I went ahead and applied some liquid lipstick afterwards. I used the NYX Liquid Suede lipstick in the shade Sandstorm. I was going to use one of the lipsticks from the Deck of Scarlet palette, but it was a little too glossy for me, so I had to put on my liquid lipstick instead. But anyways, that concludes this tutorial. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.